Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tap In with Tristan. I'm really excited about this segment of Fit Lab 15. We got somebody with great personality, big time athlete, Miss Lindsay Harris. Talk to him, Lindsay.
Hi.
Yeah. Introduce yourself. Tell them what sport you play, what school you're at. Give them a little rundown real quick.
I am a junior at Houston Baptist University. I play beach volleyball and I'm currently graduating like a semester early, so I'm gonna go get my master's with my COVID year.
Congratulations on that. That's pretty big time. So yeah,
Thanks.
got a lot of moving parts going on right now, man. So that's good that you're taking advantage of that. So
Yeah.
let's go back a little bit. When did you start playing volleyball? Because I know that you played both volleyball and beach. When did we get into just the game of volleyball?
Yeah, so I actually started way later than everyone else in my grade. I started playing indoor in seventh grade and I played soccer like basically up until that point, and then I was like, I want to try something new. So I tried volleyball at like some after school league, like with all the just the scrubs, like me, I was a scrub. And then I played until the end of high school, but I started getting recruited for beach my junior year of high school. And then I committed at the end of my junior year, but I didn't start playing beach until sophomore year of high school. So I
So
was definitely late to the game.
what made you even cross over to the beach side from the indoor? Because it's kind of like two different worlds in the sense,
Yeah.
right?
Uh, it took a lot of convincing actually. I wanted to play indoor in college so bad. And then I just realized I was just not like big enough. And then like I started playing beach and it was just way more fun, like way more my style. Like it was laid back and everyone around like the community is super awesome and I liked it a lot more than I liked indoor and it was a lot easier on my body. So I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So what position was you playing indoor? Because I'm sure there's probably a few ladies that might be kind of in your position that are tall, but maybe not as tall enough for the level that they're trying to go to, and maybe a beach might be another outlet for them. So
Yeah.
give a little backstory about that part.
So I played outside. I actually didn't hit my growth spurt until freshman year in high school. So I was like 5'6". So I started out playing like back row, which was just not for me. And then I got a little bit taller and they were like, yeah, you should try outside. So I played outside for a while. Um, I liked it a lot, but I definitely wasn't one of the bigger outsides out there. Um, but in beach, like you can be any size, which is really awesome because as a blocker, I'm still not one of the biggest ones, but you don't really have to, like, size doesn't matter as much in the beach aspect as it does in indoor. So I would, yeah, definitely people should try beach because it's a lot better than indoor, I think. But
Yeah.
from a
So
height aspect, yeah.
exactly, that was my point from a height aspect. You have some really good athletes, but as far as the recruitment part, volleyball is slotted to the taller female. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
So when it comes to recruitment, there are certain sizes and heights that need to be hit in order for you to get some of those levels of recruitment. So that's pretty cool that you even recognize that. Now we're starting to play this beach. It's a whole different vibe, man. How's
Yeah.
the support system? Are they cool with this? You know, is this like I really like what's going on? Or they're like, man, let's get back into the indoors.
My dad was, well, he's always been like my number one fan, would go to every game, would always like the dad that you would sit in the back of the car and he'd coach you on the way home from a tournament. He's one of those dads. So he was really sad whenever I stopped playing indoor because he really liked it. But he has come around now. He thinks beach is way better. But both my parents have always been super supportive and they both like beach a lot more, I think, because they like going to the beach, which you get to do.
It's a big plus. You know, I get to
Yeah.
go watch my young lady play and enjoy the
Yeah.
scene, the whole lifestyle of the beach. So, what is the game of beach? even entail, for those that don't know? And then how does it cross over into the college aspect? I don't think a lot of people know this.
So beach is only two people, which is definitely a big change. The court's a little bit smaller, but not much. And college recruiting, it used to be like super small, but now it's become this huge thing. There's schools all over the place with beach, but um, recruiting was pretty similar to indoor. I think I didn't have any film, so coaches came out to watch at tournaments, like recruiting events and stuff. So that's how I got noticed because I didn't have any film. I started so late. Um, but it's pretty similar, the recruiting process, I would say. Um, but definitely like film, I think, in recruiting events is the number one thing. Transitioning from playing in juniors to going to college is a big difference. Juniors was a lot slower, I think. The pace of the game was a lot slower. And now you come in, you're playing girls that are like 6'5" and like just pounding the ball. It's, yeah, it's a lot different, but it's fun.
Absolutely. I enjoy, kind of watching you guys and maturing and everything. What would you say the ideal age is for you to even take a look at beach as an option? What would you say from your experience?
Honestly, I don't think there is an age, like the perfect age, because there's girls on my team that have been playing since they were 10,
Right.
and I didn't start playing till I was like 16. So it just depends. I think it just depends on like the training and how hard you want it, like how hard you work, how much you want it. So I wouldn't say like if you get in the game late, don't even be worried about it. There's plenty of schools out there that
Yeah.
want to
Don't,
recruit you.
don't stress it too much, but
Yeah,
let's take a look at it as an option. Is that fair to say? Especially if you're kind of in between a certain size as a hitter, maybe take a look at that option. Would you agree
yeah,
with
yeah. And some schools will let you play both. I have a friend, Paige Flickinger. She's playing LSU. She plays indoor. They're gonna let her play beach after her freshman year, I think she told me. So some schools will let you do both, but it just depends.
Yeah. So crossing over and everything like that, how does like sports performance training, fit lab type workouts, how does that carry over to you being a college athlete? Do you feel like that's beneficial? Do you feel like it translates over, or you just really just doing your thing on the court?
Definitely, especially in the beach, jumping is a lot harder. So I would say working out is super important. We lift here like 3 times a week. Um, and then we'll do like conditioning in the off season and stuff like that. But you definitely have to put in the work if you want to get something out of it. You can't just like go out there and do whatever. But um, I would say the workouts are a big part of it.
Yeah, that's a fact. It's a different, like you said, you're not on the court. I mean, like on flat surface, you're insane. So that's going to be
Yeah.
tough maneuvering that. So you're gonna that's
Yeah.
a lot of effort in there. So it's really cool to watch you athletes do that. Now, how is it balancing the schoolwork, you know what I mean, and the social dynamic with your friends, and then also the beach
Yeah.
game, which is a pretty laid back game from my understanding. How do you balance all that in high school, and how did you start balancing it going into college?
High school was definitely a lot easier to balance everything. Uh, but once you get here, I mean, they provide you with the stuff that you need to like, tutoring and stuff like that. But like today I just spent like 6 hours in the library. It like you have to definitely put in time for it. And sometimes it takes away from the social aspect, but I mean, your friends are usually the people that you're with every day. So that's a good part about it. It's kind of like a mini built-in group of friends because you're stuck with them. So, but it's really awesome because you get to play volleyball and you get to have this huge group of friends that just wants to hang out all the time.
Yeah.
So it's great.
And this is what I'm hearing across the board as I sit down with athletes. It's kind of a built-in family aspect that
Yeah.
comes together with the athletes and their support system because of the time spent. So you don't even look at it as that big a sacrifice as the
Yeah.
social aspect. So you kind of came in during this real weird time, you know what I mean? The pandemic, you know what I mean? So tell us about how it has it been as an athlete with the pandemic. your seasons and schedules have been shifted. You know what I mean? Like traveling is a big part of you guys' sports, traveling to different beaches across the nation. How have you guys been able to deal with this?
So last year we finished a full fall off season. We usually travel a lot more during that. So our last game was at Grand Canyon, and then we just like didn't play anymore. And then we were off for the whole time until we came back in the fall, which is a really long break.
Wow.
And it was really hard, I think, for a lot of people, especially we have a couple international students, so like everything was shut down, um, and people in different states. So it was different for everyone, but definitely coming back, it was a lot different than how we left. Now we have to wear masks in weights and practice. And we didn't have a fall like off season, so we didn't get to play any games in the fall or travel or anything, which was really weird.
Wow.
And then this upcoming season is going to be super different. We have to get tested and wear masks on the bus, and it's completely different.
Yeah, so it's a big adapting process for the young athlete. How do you feel like you and your teammates have done it? I mean, you're kind of stuck in between, so you have to do it. How do you feel like you've been doing with that, and what do you think is the most important thing that you could recommend to some of the younger athletes? Because you have some that are coming in, they'll be incoming freshmen. Some recruitment is getting real messed up with this. What were some of the things you would tell them mentally?
I would just say expect everything. Like you have to be ready to adapt to stuff. Like we've been told different things even throughout this whole year. Just something changes and you have to just adapt to it. So I would just say keep an open mind, and it's just a weird time for everyone. So like you'll have your teammates that are going through the same thing. It's just important to like stay positive and like learn to adapt with everything because you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, that's a fact. Like, there's really just concentrate on the things that you're able to control, and kind of roll with the punches. And that's what you've been doing. You know what I mean? That I've been fortunate enough to build a relationship with you, staying in
Yeah.
contact with you, and just trying to stay positive through it all. Do you feel like the layoff has added some rust to the game, or you feel like getting back to it? What do you feel for you and your teammates right now?
I think everyone bounced back really well. For me, it wasn't that big of a change. I have friends that play in Dallas all the time, so I got to practice, and a couple of my gyms were open, so I still got to do that. But for some people, it was different. But I think everyone has adapted really well and bounced back, and I think we have a really good team this year.
That's awesome. So you're starting to see, just even in early adulthood, you have to be able to adapt. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, for sure.
for sure. And again, you're right in the midst of a pandemic, but everybody's in the midst of a pandemic. We're just at different spots. So overall, what would you say to these young athletes coming in, whether they're getting in beach, whether they're doing volleyball or anything else, but mainly beach? What would you say?
I would just say keep working hard. Don't get discouraged. It's weird for everyone. Schools are struggling. Coaches are struggling to find money for everyone. I would just say do your best to stay positive and learn how to adapt to everything because it's constantly changing and you never know like next month or next week what's going to happen. So I would just say keep working hard. You can't really do anything else.
That's a fact. Do what you can, and as far as the recruitment process, try to contact as many of these coaches as possible with film and emails,
Yeah.
and try to be consistent with all of those things because the recruitment process has been impacted as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lindsay, I don't want to take up too much more of your busy time. I'm sure you got some book reports and some stuff that you got to do, all these different types of things. So we love you here at Fit Lab. We celebrate you and super proud of what's going on. And we look forward to you being able to navigate through this pandemic, and hopefully we'll have a beach season.
Oh yeah, hopefully. Thank you so much.
So once again, thank you for your time, and till next time, God bless. All right.
Bye.
Bye.